Hello and welcome everyone. This is Type V3 with a Transformers Titans Return review of the deluxe class Skull Smasher and his Titan Master Grax. Or I suppose that's Skull Cruncher for those of you who prefer a more G1 flavor. Skull Smasher is a robo-crocodile. Or is he an alligator? Who cares? The point is, he's a pink, prehistoric reptile, and that's just rad no matter which way you cut it. The design is great with no flaws worth pointing out, and the vast amounts of surface sculpting emulate a crocodile's leather skin nicely. The green and pink plastics have a slight metallic swirl in their injection, which is brought out further thanks to a glossy finish. Paint apps are few, limited to the eyes, forehead, and techie stripe on the side of the body. Articulation is decent. The tail can move side to side, the rear legs are on ball sockets, front limbs are on a couple swivels with a bend at the elbow, and the head is on a nice large ball joint with an opening mouth. Inside there's some great sculpting, though I do wish the tongue were painted. Overall, I'm pretty pleased with this alt mode. On to Titan Master Grax, and he's nothing to write home about. He's the standard Titan Master offering. As expected, there's a ball socket head and arms with hinged hips and knees, although he does have a painted face, and that's about enough for me to give a thumbs up to this little guy. There's a hatch that opens up on Skull Smasher's back to reveal a cockpit for Grax. There's even a tiny console molded in there too. For another option, there's pegs on the Croc's two front claws that any Titan Master can stand on. They may be small features, still the added variety is always appreciated. Transformation can be broken down into 5 simple steps. Detach the tail, unfold the legs, flip back the head, pull down the arms, and peg on Grax to form the head. It's fairly intuitive and shouldn't cause any problems. This transformation doesn't make you feel like you're doing much, but then I suppose that's because the reality is, you aren't. First impressions of Skull Smasher's robot mode are positive. I like the athletic silhouette and the confident stance. Between color placement and specific details, there's a lot here that references the original G1 toy nicely. Though, again like with the alt mode, paint apps are few and far between, and I think the robot mode suffers more for it. It all comes off a little bland. The giant crocodile head on his back can come off a bit sloppy for overall aesthetics too. However, if there's one major problem with this toy, it's his legs. Not only are they completely hollow, but Skull Smasher doesn't have the back halves to his feet. Additionally, the toy suffers from incredibly weak hip tolerances. Combine all these things together, and you have a Transformer that almost can't support itself in a basic stance. It's a shame because otherwise I'd say this is a fun robot all around. Now remember that tail? Well, the tip splits off, and the result is a small blaster as well as a tail accessory that can be used to your imagination. Both weapons can be held fine without issue. Now, the tail does have one more trick. You can flip up a handle, turn it upside down, and attach the blaster to the end. The result is a turret emplacement for the larger Transformers with base modes. Kinda silly, but I get what they're going for. Articulation starts with a ball joint head. The arms are on hinged ball sockets, there's a bicep swivel, single-jointed elbows, and a forearm swivel. The waist can rotate, the hips are on ball sockets, there's a thigh cut, and double-jointed knees. Posability is pretty good for a modern deluxe class Transformer. However, it's all meaningless with the toy's unfortunately weak hips and unstable feet. To put it bluntly, Transformers Titans Return Grax and Skull Smasher is a fun toy brought down by a huge design flaw. I mean, the crocodile mode just bleeds cool and doesn't have anything working against it. It's without question the star in this package. So where does that leave the robot mode? Well, that's a tougher call. It needs more paint apps, and you can't ignore the physical problems. Even if you tighten the hips, there's no getting around the unstable footing. It becomes more a question of how much can you deal with the issue. The potential for a great toy is here, and with how much character and personality Skull Smasher evokes, it's just a shame that it's all been brought down by such an obvious oversight. That said, I still love it. But that's all for me. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next review.